in the almighty dairy section here. Again, very, very controversial topic. You know, you hear terms like, you know, milk, it does, it's good for the body. Your got milk campaigns, things like that. A lot of it comes down to milk is healthy for the bones, all the calcium and things like that. Matter of fact, you can get more calcium out of the broccoli than you can your actual milk. But here's the thing with milk. If you're going to do it, get your whole milk and make sure it's going to be organic, just like anything. Make sure I'm obviously going to be getting more organic milks. But here's an interesting thing about milk. Milk is designed to grow animals, grow humans, right? That's what we start off on, mammals, right? We start on milk. It is designed to be very fatty, very healthy. It's got colostrum in it. Especially when we're younger, we're not chewing on food, right? So milk is there to help us grow. In my family, we substitute things with your almond milks. We usually go with your unsweetened almond milk. As we're stocking it up, all right, good job. That's the good stuff. But no, we're going to substitute stuff for almond milk typically. But yeah, if you're going to get your dairy, again, I just don't think it should be a cornerstone of our diet in today's world. It just wreaks too much havoc. Matter of fact, it's very inflammatory. It's going to, if you have sinus issues, you're going to have worse sinus issues. So try and shy away from it. We are in the butter section. This has been one of the most controversial topics in nutrition history. Do you eat butter? Do you not eat butter? Do we create things that are even butter? You know, they used to have the old, I can't believe it's not butter. Those are vegetable spreads. That's not, just this entire section here, you only need to narrow in on this section right here. You should be buying Kerrygold butter. In my opinion, this is probably the best brand to get. There are other ones that are, these are good. Organic Valley, again, but I would focus on your Kerrygold. It has been so tested and vetted, but this comes from grass-fed cows. Again, the whole thing with conjugated linoleic acid, you're going to have significantly higher omega-3s versus omega-6s. It's going to have 5 times the amount of CLA that you're going to have in this butter versus any other butters out there, especially if they're corn-fed. If you're going to get butter, make sure you're getting Kerrygold butter, or at least something that is grass-fed, real butter. And I wouldn't shy away from the salted versus unsalted. That's going to be a preference. Again, salt's an electrolyte, and stick with it. But just make sure it's grass-fed. Make sure it is a real butter. Matter of fact, butter is a great thing to cook with because it does sustain heat. But if you're going to get butter, narrow it down to this section here. Here's an entire area. Narrow it down to your real butters. Stay away from anything else. Egg section, right? We've got anywhere, 309, 230, all the way up to 559, all the different prices down to 248. You've got your pasteurized, your cage-free, your free range, your organic brown, your organic free range. They're vegetarian fit. There's all these different labels. These basically, really what this means. As an example, cage-free. Cage-free does not mean that they're never in a cage. It just means they're not in a really, really tiny cage. That's basically what labeling means for cage-free. Free range does not mean that they're out just living in the elements. It just means they have the ability to go out of a barn, basically. It doesn't mean that they do. It doesn't mean that they're not in a cage. It does not mean, or it doesn't say what they're actually being fed. Again, chickens are scavengers. They're out to eat bugs, grains, grass seeds, things like that. So when I'm looking at eggs, you can tell the difference between what I would probably suggest would be your organic free range. Anything that says organic, because what that here's organic free range. What that's going to say is it's actually saying how they're living. It doesn't force them out into the fields. I mean, yeah, they're going to be living in some kind of barn, some kind of establishment that way, but again, they are free to go into the pasture technically. But organic is going to say this is what they were allowed to eat. They were basically allowed to scavenge and eat the bugs and the seeds and things like that versus the corn, the soy. As a matter of fact, they talk, a lot of these meals that they're being fed, where they grind up the corn, the soy, the byproducts, there are actually meat, there's feathers, there's all sorts of stuff that's ground up in it. So again, if you're going to get your eggs, spend the extra money. Again, these are going to have higher omega-3 fats versus 6. And when you really break open an egg and you can see the difference from a pasture organic chicken, that yolk is so much more yellow. Matter of fact, eat your yolks. That is where the good healthy fats are at. Do not be just downing egg whites unless you just like them. Get the yolks. Get the yolks. If you like the yolks, stick with them. Yolks are definitely in. But get your organic free-range eggs if you have the choice. So here we're in our oil section here. Olive oil, you want it in a dark container. You definitely want the extra virgin olive oil. Again, dark container. Olive oil can be added into salad dressings, just topped on top of things, just to add in an extra fat. I'll do that. I'll make my meals and I'll take a tablespoon and just put an olive oil on top of my vegetables and things like that. I do like the taste of it. Really, how you know a really good olive oil is you will get a little bit of a scratch at the back of your throat. What those are polyphenols. Polyphenols are a mega anti-inflammatory. What that does is it's a free radical. Free radicals take the toxins out of your body. The oxidizing, again, when we burn calories, we release nitrogen. There's oxidation happens. Oxidation is what rusts our vehicles. So oxidation is happening within our body. We need to get these antioxidants. Everybody talks about antioxidants. This is an unbelievable antioxidant. But again, make sure you're getting them in a dark bottle. The higher the quality, yes, you should feel a little bit of a scratch at the back of your throat. Add these. Now, I would not cook with olive oil. At high temperatures, olive oil from a molecular standpoint does break down, and a lot of the benefits that you're going to get are just wasted because it is not designed to be heated up. One thing to cook with, a very healthy fat to cook with, is going to be your coconut oils. Like right here, you've got your organic refined over here. So if it doesn't say refined, it's typically going to be unrefined. The difference between the two is you want your virgin refined if you don't want that little hint of a coconut flavor. If it has been refined, you're not going to get, there's basically no flavor to it. But sometimes people talk about how it does have a little bit of a coconut flavor. That's because they have gotten the unrefined. How you know you also have a good quality coconut oil? Look for the term organic, but at 72 degrees and above, coconut oil is going to turn into a liquid. 72 degrees and below, it's going to be a solid, if it's a quality one. Sometimes you'll see them on the shelves. Sometimes you'll even see the same brand. One will be liquid, one will be solid. It's just because something has distorted the one that is a liquid. So make sure, in a grocery store, it's not going to be above 72 degrees. So make sure you're buying the solids if you're looking for coconut oil. The liquid part of it is MCT oil, medium chain triglyceride. That is different. That is always going to be liquid. Also very, very healthy. Those can be added to many, many things. Pre-workout shakes, coffees. You can add them to salads. There's no taste to them as well too. But with cooking purposes, I would go with the solid because you do want some of those saturated fats in there. Avoid your canola oils. These are your corn. I cannot go in nature and start crushing up corn and create an oil. This is a chemical process. Just like I cannot go onto the earth and find ethanol, right? It is a chemical process. Do not just avoid your vegetable oils that way. Get your olive oils, your avocado oils, which we already had a section of dressings, which we're going to talk about the avocado oils as well too. Cook with your coconut oils, cook with your butter. If you do want to stay away from dairy and you don't want to cook with the butter, grass-fed ghee is another option, which we have a section there as well too. But in your oils, stick with your olive oils, stick with your avocado oils. There's Brazil nut oil, things like that. Use those. Stay away from the canola, stay away from your vegetable oils, and then be cooking with your coconut oils.